Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I'm doing a page for my daughter's senior album, and it's really just a picture of her and her two besties, Winnie and Daisy. I pulled out a bunch of scraps and a piece of wood grain paper, and I'm gonna do a really simple page. Just layer up with some little askew layers behind the photo, and I pulled out a whole bunch of dog related ephemera from an Echo Park ephemera pad. And then I wanted something at the bottom of the page, and I had this very old Creative Memories embossed paper, and it's got little keys with hearts at the top of the key. So I thought that was appropriate. It's a way to incorporate some hearts onto this page because they love each other. And I just wanted a little something on the paper to break up the wood grain. So I'm just going to start with some simple layers. There was a fold in this piece of paper, so I'm having trouble fitting it and determining, making sure I have some showing with that layer. So just playing around with it, trying to figure out where it fits the best. And that's just going to be the first of several layers. And these scraps are all from I keep folders with scraps by color. And what I'm doing is I'm placing each layer slightly askew and then trimming that piece of paper square. So each piece of paper is square, but they're not placed quite square on each other. It just makes it give us a little more interest. And I'm just pulling the paper colors from the ephemera. And we'll do one more. We'll do that dark turquoise. And I'm using walnut stain since there's a lot of browns in the ephemera and the paper. So the nice thing about that little border strip at the bottom, it also gives me a place to anchor another embellishment cluster. And then I have these little banners at the top that I like, and I'm embellishing those with some little round stickers. And then I'm using this large piece of ephemera cut apart as the title. Life is better with a dog. So all of these embellishments were in my animal embellishment folders, binders. So I just went through and looked for a title embellishment that I liked, and then pulled related things from the same paper pack, same embellishment pack. So this is a really simple page, just really focusing on that photo. And there's a few embellishments that I pulled out that I won't end up using. And I decided to cut little holes in the tops of these little banner pieces so that I could string a piece of twine through it instead of just putting it behind it. And that way it shows a little better. So I just set my crocodile to an appropriate length so I could be consistent with those holes. And then I'll pop each of those up. So a pretty simple design. And I cut that frame in half so that I could use it in 2 places on the page. It brings in another pattern. And then I'm going to pop up this title. And because I have so many layers on that photo, I thought I should not pop up, leave that part blank, but I needed to add another little piece of adhesive dimensional. So I'm getting quite a bit of dimension through the foam adhesive. And it's pretty thick. It's the Scotch foam adhesive, the big giant roll. And then I went and pulled my twine, and I'm pulling out several different colors to decide which one I want to use. And I end up selecting kind of an orange. This is a red. I thought about that one, but I like the orange, and I had never used it. It was still closed, so I had to take a pair of scissors to it, and that's the one I end up using. So I tie a little bow in one end of it, and then I realized I've still got to thread it through, or I did a knot, and then I decided, all right, I'm just going to cut that off. I'm going to do the threading first and then tie the bows, which gets a little difficult at the end to get the bow in the right position. So I spend a little bit of time doing that. So I'm just threading it through my banner pieces, and then I'll position everything where I want it. So I left everything pretty loose so that I could play with it while I tied that bow. And really I should have moved everything back aside so I could tie this bow at the end. And I am overlapping that photo just a bit. So you can see this page came together pretty quickly. It's relatively simple. I didn't do mixed media. I didn't have to cut anything with my Cricut or die cuts. I decided to keep it just simple and straightforward. I do have thoughts for another page for a dog photo. My daughter loves her dog so much. And that one will be a little more entailed, so I'll try and do that at some point. But it's a concept that would work for kids, babies, dogs, anything. I'm just taking my art glitter glue and shaping the tails of the twine a little bit so that they're secure and I'm getting the shape that I want. And the same on this little tag. And I just lay a little loop of the glue down. It sticks really fast. So that's pretty simple. Then it's time for some enamel dots. And there were 3 colors in this set that worked. So I didn't fuss around too much looking for a better match. So it's a just very classic and simple diagonal design. And if you have an Echo Park Ephemera pack, something like this can come together really fast, and you get to use some scraps to mat the photo. Then I went to my Tim Holtz little word bits and found some words that I thought were, little sayings that I thought were appropriate. So just getting 3 of those onto the page. I think I switched that one out. I decided I don't like that one. That one fits better there. And then I'm going to look for a new one. There's lots of, this is a very handy sort of finishing touch that I've put on a lot of different pages. And I think it's about time. Just ink these edges, and we'll do some close-ups. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and come back for more content. I've got some more pages for my daughter's senior album and more Christmas journaling coming up. Thanks a lot.